How does one atom do that? Does it split in half? Does it become like a cloud that goes through both? Well, we can try and be even cleverer. What if we were to spy on the atom and see where it goes? We can gently just observe which slit it goes through. So you put a detector just above the upper slit that will flash or beep whenever it sees an atom go through that top slit. Sure enough, you fire the atoms through, one at a time. 50% of the time, the detector will beep. The other 50% of the time it doesn't, the assumption being that the atom has gone through the lower slit. But of course I've been cheeky here, I haven't shown you the results of the experiment. That's what you get. 50% of the time it beeps and you see a spot arrive adjacent to the upper slit. The other half of the time it doesn't beep, but you see a spot arrive at the lower slit. So yeah, it's picked out the atoms that have gone through the upper slit and not the ones that have gone through. So each atom does go through one slit or the other. But that's a different result to what we had earlier. So here's the last bit of sneakiness that we can play with atoms. Surely now, you know, we're going to get to grips with it. Leave the detector there, but just very quietly go and unplug it. Don't let the atoms know that you're not spying on them. Make them think that you're still detecting them. So yeah, okay, we're going to run the experiment, atoms, okay, get ready, one at a time, we're going to be checking on you. All right, so run the experiment again. Now, if you can explain this using common sense and logic, do let me know, because there's a Nobel Prize for you.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this one. Hopefully, I knew it. There's people already know how to explain this one. It's very simple. We assuming when we're shooting this, number one, this gentleman talking about the particle is a true particle. It's not a topic about lights. We also have a different versions of shooting lights. We already know light is a wave, right? So everybody can solve that one. Can win your Nobel Prize with the lights, no problem. So now we're talking about the particle. Actually, most of this kind of experiences use what is particle? Electrons. Use electrons. You know, electron notoriously is unreliable. You know, all the linings, all the electrons. When you have open air, electrons never go straight line. You know why? Electron just a little magnet. A little magnet bumping. We know the space is filled with particles. Filled with particles. As long as you can breathe, we know oxygen, nitrogen, as long as you can breathe, lots of particles. So electron is a smaller kids try to go through Dallas Cowboys defense line. So you can bounce back and forth, so electron never travel in straight lines, even very, very close. So you know, we take electrons out. Electrons are never reliable. So let's use ions, atom, assume atom, shooting atom. I don't know how they can get an atom, right? But let's assume it's atom ions shooting them. So, okay, atom shooting out. Why atom do? It's a particle. And the phenomenon is all correct, but what's the reason? The reason is very simple. The air filled with basically you're shooting a particle into a river, into a wave. Two kinds of wave. One is called a natural wave in the medium. We know the space filled with the magnetic field fluid, right? So you have a natural wave. In this natural wave itself, if you throw a piece of a leaf or something flowing there, if this leaf can reach over to slit, go to the other side, this leaf follows this natural wave, this natural wave passing the double slit will intercept each other. And another is a self-generated wave. If the particle try to, okay, yeah. This side is a natural wave, and this is a self-generated wave. If you have a forced particle, thank you. He is my mirror, you know, reflect this, so if we got it. So self-generative wave, in order, like swimming, if you swimming, you will take surrounding water with you in order for you to travel along. That wave, you drag it along, that wave will create a self-interference pattern. So what is my conclusion is that there is no wave-particle duality. It's only wave-particle interaction. Based on this interaction, so the particle interact with wave. We are previously assuming this is a vacuum. Now we know this is no vacuum whatsoever. So in order for particle go through this river, interact with this river has a high energy too. So then it end up with interference pattern. However, one twist is if they monitoring, shedding lights, monitoring, and then this interference pattern goes away. Now we know what is the light. That is the wave. You're shining the lights destroy the interference pattern. Okay. So that's kind of the measurement itself destroyed its own pattern. So that's why we see different pattern. Because it's the method of measurement is a problem. He mentioned about to unplug that's a problem. That's a misunderstanding. Sorry, I love this gentleman. I probably will meet him July in Great Britain, on one conference. He's one of the superstar. And I respect him greatly. So, okay, so I'm no longer just say one thing about something. Do we know the DNA, RNA? What's the difference? DNA, RNA, the double helium strand, actually nothing more, just opposite magnetic poles. So men and women, they are not be able to have offsprings. You know what? Because they are similar magnetic pole repel. Man and woman is exactly the opposite. So that's why they can form helix. And another thing about the nature, sixth sense. We know human has a sensory cells. What is a sensory cell? It's basically a magnetic field. If you touch here, this is the body reacts. If you change the magnetic field in one point, the entire field, the magnetic field will change. So we will sense instantly. The sixth sense, and this magnetic field is not just with your body, extended beyond your body. So certain sensitive people will feel something changing, something different from the environment, have physical foundations. And sixth sense, memory, I'm not talking about the spirituality. I want to say all the spiritual leaders, all the founders of religions, they always found one thing in common. Human and the universe connected. We are all connected. We are oneness, we are fullness. One reason, we're all in the same magnetic field. Affect each other. Another thing is about called principal symmetry. Everything, if you just play positive and negative, end up in order to grow, it always have symmetry. So that's why all the human beings, all the animals have symmetry. It's not because there's a super symmetry, there's a super symmetry theory for quantum mechanics. No. Quantum mechanics, in order to reduce the number of particles, they created as a super symmetry as a requirement. That's not a requirement. That's just the end of evolvement. You could have asymmetry. However, in order for something survive, it have a symmetry. Another thing is about the golden rule. In the golden ratio, everything, why we measure beauty based on the structure and the proportion, right? Symmetry and the proportion. Where is the golden rule come from? Golden rule is all from the pentagram. Pentagram is a spherical shape. It's always there. So that's why it's so natural to us. I don't have time to go to the detail. Another thing I wanted to say, based on this theory, all the universe based on just one particle with positive and negative poles, just like a computer program with 0 and 1s. And I can use that one to prove mathematically correct. Mathematics is a superposition, right? When the superposition, addition, multiplication, inequality is all based on the one by one build it up. Entire mathematical principle agrees with the reality. So that's why mathematical principle is fundamental principle. Because the world built that way. And another Newton's law, I use that one because I applied the Newton law generated one equation against Einstein's curve, right? Because I use this one based on the Newton's law, use neutral particle against each other, it end up exactly conservation of the linear momentum. That's what exactly Newton's law says. And okay, I don't have time. So, so just one summary, the entire universe, only one principle. Every matter is made of universal magnetic particle ions. And physical principle is opposite pole attracts, like pole repels. Social principle is golden rules. All the social values, golden rules is all action versus reaction. Is consistent with this kind of fundamental build-up of human beings. And then all the mysteries are explained. Then I want to acknowledge Michael Bell, so over there, without him, there is no this theory. I do not explain this one. He is a central part of the development entire theory. And then, Stephen, thank you. And he even invited his boss, the director of the Apple program for the entire NASA Center. Thank you very much for coming. And, Pat, we had a one-on-one discussion. And, Bob, Kalena, and Scott. I can't say enough about Scott's contribution to this presentation. And also Feather invited her, friends. Thank you very much for accommodating everything, for the success. And Stephen Effort, wonderful young man. He's not here. So thank you so much.
All right. Well, I think for those of you who hadn't had to go for other meetings or anything, pretty compelling story, and we're going to go ahead and post the video to the Spaceport Innovators page, so you guys will be able to access there. I'll send out a summary email with a link to the slides and a link to the video location after this. So, all right. I think we're all done.